What's happening with it? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. Oh yeah, we gonna cook today once again. Come in the building. When you come in the building, make sure that you hit the like button. Jump in the comments. Let me know you in the building, and we gonna get it popping. Let me see who we got in the building already. Got my man Gertz in the building. What's happening with it? Johnny Q in the building. Dank Father. DP Rocker. Let me see. My man Ty Swindle straight from that ATL. Jay Wash in the building. Picasso in the building. Jay Lee, the chosen one. What's happening with it? Derek Pearson, what it do? David Frazier, what's happening with it? No Evidence 340, what's happening with it? Miguel Serrano, what it do? My man Swat Jones in the building, what it do? Smooth Groove in the building, what's happening with it? Yeah. And we're going to cook today. Let's cook. Like I said, come in the building, smash the like button, and let's get it popping. Let's see who else we got in the building. Smooth Groove straight from that Oak Cliff in the building. Braun Mac, what's happening with it? Saints know you, what it do? Grown Man Boxing. Mr. Positive, what it do? Devin Bell, Miguel, Ketty P 504. Nah, it ain't skipping. That father, it ain't skipping. It's probably because how they got it, how it sound coming through this mic or something, or because I'm playing it through this StreamYard. So it's probably the StreamYard. Yeah, because the song ain't skipping at all on my end. So I don't know. It's probably because of that StreamYard. Hold on. Let me get that straight. Yeah, I don't know what be going on with this StreamYard. It be messing up. James Kelly, the OG in the building. Man, what it do? Where you been at, James? My man James Kelly coming in that super chat. Always come through and support the channel. Man, where you been at, James? Hope everything been all right with you. Hold on. Let me see who else we got in the building. Shower Alive. Salute to you, Queen. Bully Boxing, what it do? You see who I missed. Bruce Gas, the OG in the building. What's happening with it, Bruce? Buddy Love in the building. Greg Abernathy, what's happening with it? Yeah, man, we're going to cook on it. We cooked on it yesterday. We're going to touch on it some more. And like I said, we're going to cook on some other things with it. Al King, what's happening with it? Yeah. So, like I said, make sure that y'all smash the like button while we get the show started. smash on the like button, and we're gonna get it popping. We're gonna get it popping. So yeah, so man, a lot going on. Did y'all see Floyd Mayweather try to step to Jake Paul at the I think it was the Miami Heat game? Brian Branch was happening with it. Y'all seen Floyd Mayweather with his with all his bodyguards and entourage. He pulled up on Jake Paul. And I guess he asked Jake Paul, like, you know, what's up now? What's up now with all that shit you've been talking? And it was funny because when I seen it, I said, damn, Floyd is still mad about this man pulling off his hat. So what I did is I went to the video, right? I went back to the video where Floyd pulled off old boy's hat. And I said, I would have been mad too. Motherfucking Floyd had bald spots in his head. See, y'all got to think. When Jake Paul pulled off Floyd Mayweather's hat, that's when Floyd was just getting, he was in the midst. He just had got that hair transplant done. So his shit was still growing in, and his shit was looking real bad. You know what I'm saying? Floyd was looking real bad after he had that hair transplant. Let me see if I could pull it up so I can show y'all. That shit was funny as hell. I said, yeah, I would have been mad too. I see why Floyd is mad. Jake Paul embarrassed him and shit in front of everybody. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. You pull it up because I was watching it last night. There it is. And nigga Floyd was hot when Jake Paul snatched that hat off of him. Hold on. Oh shit. He had Floyd fucked up. Oh shit. That nigga Floyd shit was fucked up. Jake Paul was hold on, I'm screenshotting this shit so I can show y'all why Floyd was so goddamn mad. Floyd was hot. Hey, hold on, okay, if y'all can see it. Hey, Floyd had a big bald spot in the middle of his shit. Hey, Floyd was mad as hell. I'm trying to get this thing to focus so y'all can see that big bald spot in this shit. Hey, Floyd was mad in the bitch. Hey, Floyd still pissed off to this day. Because you know Floyd like to get fly. Floyd be liking to be fresh and shit. He like, man, you ain't finna expose me with this big ass bald spot I got in my shit right now. There it is. Floyd had a big ass bald spot like right there in the top of his head. All that shit was bald still. It wouldn't the hair transplant that he got, his shit hadn't healed yet. You know what I'm saying? This shit hadn't healed yet. So Floyd had that hat on, man. Old boy snatched that hat off of him. Hey, that shit took Floyd to another level. You don't ever motherfucking disrespect me. You disrespect me. Hey, Floyd was hot. And so, like I said, when I seen that Floyd ran up on Jake Paul last night in the parking lot or what, you know, or back, you know, wherever they was, you know, at the Miami Heat game outside. And he had about, you know, Floyd always got a whole lot of people with him. He always got a bunch of big ass bodyguards and security and all that shit with him. And Jake Paul looked like he was by himself. He was either by himself or probably with one other person. And I guess Floyd was like, you know, shit, pull my hat off now. What's up with that shit you was talking? Pull my motherfucking hat off now. And yeah, you know, Jake Paul seen that shit was getting a little sticky, and he took off. He said, fuck that. I ain't finna fight all these big ass gorillas because they ain't gonna let me touch Floyd. But do y'all think that shit was staged? You know what I'm saying? Because Floyd is a genius when it comes to getting the bag. Do y'all think that they setting up a fight between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather, or that shit was some real, it was real live? Because Floyd was still mad for Jake Paul exposing that big ass ball spot Floyd had going through that hair transplant. Oh shit. Oh man. Let me get to some more of y'all that's dropped in the building, and make sure that y'all smash the like button. King Styles Production, what's happening with it? My man Sean Clark in the building. Let me see. Mr. Killer, he says, no need to complain now, man. We gonna get into all of that. Teach, what's happening with it? Johnny Q, what it do? Karma, what's going on? What's going on with it, Queen? Emmanuel Pettigrew, he says, no notification. Yeah, they do that shit a lot. They only send out, they only gonna send out a few of my notifications. They only do that. Then the rest of the people, they just, they just catch me on here. Let me see. Teach, what it do? Contender Regime, what's happening with it? Yeah. My man says the security for the game was like, I'm just doing my job. Man, that was all Floyd people. Floyd rolled deep. Floyd gonna have, at least 50 people with him, at least. And Jake Paul, he got up out that thing like, hey, it ain't no way. It ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? I make one of these big gorillas mad, it's gonna be bad because all of them gonna stump on me. M-Dub, what's happening with it? But I want to know, like, really, I want to know, because Floyd is about his bread. Floyd know how to hype up a fight before they fight. And Jake Paul know how to do the same thing. So was it real? Or was it, some shit that they planning on, making a mega fight with each other? Because one thing I know about Floyd, right? His last fight in the UK, nobody paid attention to it. He was complaining that didn't nobody come to the fight. Like, ain't nobody show up. You know what I'm talking about? And Floyd don't like to get done like that. Floyd don't like nobody to show him up. Now he see all his attention is on Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, and they gonna make a big ass fight. And Floyd in his head, Floyd is just a competitor. He like, shit, I'm still that nigga. I'm still that dude. I'm gonna come with an event bigger than everybody. Whatever everybody talking about is big. Watch me come with something bigger. And if he fight Jake Paul, it's gonna be bigger than anything that we talking about right now. So what I want to know, So what went through my head, is this real? Because Floyd is very calculated. Is this real? You know what I'm saying? Is he setting something up between him and Jake Paul? And Jake Paul is the same way. Jake Paul know how to promote some shit. Are they setting something up? Or is it just, or is it just Floyd still mad because old boy exposed that ball spot? Which one is it? Karma said he thinks he could just show up and people will come, and that's not the case. Yeah, he see, but Floyd don't like to get done like that. Floyd like to put on events where everybody watching. Tyra Sims, what's going on with the Queen? Salute. My man Swat Jones says, yeah, Floyd looked mad though. Never seen him like that. When old boy snatched that hat off of him, oh yeah, he was pissed off for real. Like when Jake Paul snatched that hat off of him, that shit wasn't staged. That was for real. Floyd ain't trying to go out like that. Like I said, Floyd like to get fresh. Floyd like to be fly at all times. Floyd don't want nobody to see him with a big ass ball spot and naps all over his head. For real. Rafael, yeah, I think Rafael Rafael 32 says, regardless what happens in England, Floyd is still the man. It just depends on what you mean by he's still the man. It all depends on what you mean by that, you know. So I don't know. It depends. I can't really tell you wrong or right. I can't really, respond to that because it depends on what you mean by he's still the man. Is he still the name as far in boxing that everybody talking about, everybody want to see? No. Is he still that dude that's a legend? Yeah. Hey, you crazy as hell, Karma. Karma talking about that donkey hair Floyd had implanted. That shit napped up. Hey, that shit was looking bad. Jay Miller said Floyd's ego can't take fading to black. Yeah, man. Floyd got a huge ego. So, like I said, that last event that he did in the UK, of course, Floyd gonna make sure he get paid. But that shit flopped. Didn't nobody want to see it. You dig? So Floyd, he gonna want to come back with a bang to show that he's still that dude. Floyd gonna want to come back with a bang to show everybody, I'm still that dude. I'm still him. And if I want to put on a big mega event and show everybody that even retired, I'm still the face of boxing, I can do that. And so I know I can do that if I fight Jake Paul. Move over because, see, Floyd is a businessman and he's smart. He got to see how Jake Paul performed against another boxer, right? And now Floyd is looking at Jake Paul because Jake Paul is way bigger than Floyd is, right? But he's looking at Jake Paul and he like, if he couldn't beat Tommy Fury, he sure in the hell can't beat me, no matter how big he is. And then he's also looking at the numbers that Jake Paul and Tommy Fury did, right? He's looking at those numbers and he's looking at that event. That was a big event. And so he like, if me and Jake Paul get together, we might be able to do bigger numbers than me and Conor McGregor did. Floyd is always about a bag. So like I'm saying, that shit that we saw on TMZ that happened last night at the Heat game, it could have very well been planned. They could be planning that because we all know that Jake Paul wants to fight Floyd, and that fight has been talked about. It could be, hey, he fought his brother already, so it's already a huge storyline. It's a bigger storyline with Floyd pulling off that goddamn hat. I mean, with Jake Paul pulling off that hat and exposing his motherfucking head. So, OTB, what it do? What's happening with it, OTB? My brother, OTB, man, where you been, dog? I hope everything is all right with you. Real talk. Hey, this motherfucker, hey, Karma. Hey, Karma, you crazy as hell talking about that donkey. Hey, it don't none of y'all get to running with that shit like, oh, he call him you call him a monkey, a donkey. Nah, she wasn't saying it like that. She just said, hey, that shit was funny as hell though. But Knockout, what's happening with it, Knockout, man? If you in the building, Knockout, in a little bit, man, I want to drop you a link, man. Hey, man, Knockout, man, I had to give you my respect, bro. I didn't know you were the main one, right? You were the main one. I know how my brother Money gonna come, right? Money gonna do what Money gonna do. But you was the main one that I was really looking at to see how is Knockout, because I know you pride yourself on keeping it like me and KQ, and I know you pride yourself on keeping it 100. Keeping the same energy when it comes to fighters. Now, a lot of times, I get on you about how you do with Tank. But you kept it 100, man, and I gotta respect that, And I wanted to see how you was gonna come. I really did. I ain't gonna lie, man. I Knockout was the one person I was like, man, I want to hear what Knockout gonna say about this shit. I want to see how Knockout gonna come, and hey, he came real. He came real about this shit. He came real about this shit. like I'm gonna keep it 100, right? When I'm put in a position with a fighter that I really, really love like that, you feel me? You got to either keep it real. You got to keep it real. It don't matter. You got to keep it 100. A lot of people know that I'm a huge Deontay Wilder fan. Huge Deontay Wilder fan. Ain't nobody tell me shit about Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the man that he is outside of the ring, even more so than what he did inside the ring, right? Then met him, just coolest dude you ever want to meet. So I'm a huge Deontay Wilder fan. But motherfuckers got mad when I said that, hey, the third fight, Tyson Fury whooped him square and fair, and I don't think that he can beat Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury just got his number. Motherfuckers got mad because I kept it 100 and said that shit. Oh, I don't like what he said about Tyson. I don't like what he said about Wilder, you know. And I said that I don't want to see him fight Tyson Fury again because I don't think he can win that fight. I kept it 100, and that's my favorite fighter. But nigga, motherfuckers got mad because what you think I'm supposed to say? You think I'm supposed to get on here and lie to y'all? And so it just reminded me of Knockout. It put Knockout in the position and some shit that I know he didn't want to have to say. Knockout didn't want to have to say what he said about that Gervonta Davis situation last night. But you know he prided himself on keeping it 100. So you got to take your hat off to him. You got to take your hat off to him. But we're going to talk about that in a minute, you know. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But like I said, Knockout, if you're in the building, you know what I'm saying, if you want to get up here in a little bit, you know, for sure, just let me know. Oh, yeah, Knockout. And you wasn't in the building yesterday. The debate that I was talking about was Dundada. Dundada actually finally grabbed the link yesterday, dog. He ain't in the building yet. He should be, you know, Dundada, he'll be in the building. He get the notification, but Dundada actually grabbed the link yesterday. It shocked the fuck out of me, dog. And my man Leon Robinson must have really got under Dundada's skin because Dundada grabbed that link, and Leon had went in on Dundada. Leon went in on his ass, and Dundada grabbed that link, and he wanted smoke. And so they were going back and forth, Knockout. So I told him, I said, look, man, we not going to get nowhere with y'all both, you know, cussing and screaming at each other back and forth. So this is what we going to do. I said, we're going to come up with a topic that y'all disagree on because obviously y'all disagree on a lot of shit because, you know, they would be going back and forth all the time. And if both of y'all down, we're going to set up a debate on Knockout Panel. It's going to be a debate, you know what I'm saying, where can't nobody, you know, organize. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we could do that. And we're going to sell, and they was both down with it. You know what I'm saying? They was both down. And so, you know, like I said, we going to set that up, man. We going to set that up because that's definitely one I want to see. You know, Dundada, one thing about Dundada, right? He know boxing. I'm not finna sit up here and just act like he just a troll and don't know shit about boxing. He know boxing. But the thing is he always going against the fucking grain. If you say it's left, he gonna say it's right. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Dundada, he usually gonna go against the fighters that most black fans go with. If we, you know what I'm saying? Because if you the black fan base, I'm gonna keep it 100. We mostly got, you know, the certain fighters that we go with. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Mexican fan base, they mostly got the fighters that they go with. And then we got our fighters that we, you know what I'm saying, agree on and all that. But Dundada, he usually gonna go against you know, let's say PBC fighters. You know what I'm saying? He usually gonna go against the PBC fighters or the fighters that people in these chats be rooting for. He usually gonna go against them. So, you know, I think that's where, and Dundada usually gonna come in, he gonna say some off the wall shit every day. That's how people know that he gonna come in, but he know boxing. I mean, how can he not? He He keep up with everything. He watch it every day. So I ain't gonna act like he don't know boxing and shit, but he just, he just go against the grain. But yeah, so it's gonna be judged. It's gonna be judged fair, and may the best man win. But right. Knockout said he emailing them both now. I got both their contact. Okay, cool. I figured you did, and like I said, I figured you did. And man, that's a debate. I think that's a debate that everybody gonna want to see. Yeah. But one thing about Dundada, he don't want nobody to know his identity. So I don't know. I guess you gotta let him turn his camera off the whole time. He don't want nobody to know his identity. Johnny Q said Dundada be trolling. I'm sorry, he be coming in with multiple accounts. I don't know. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't put that on him that he come in with multiple accounts because it ain't really no way for me to prove that. Hey, Knockout said it definitely be more competitive than the one last night. And y'all hit my like button. Y'all smash my like button, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's free. It don't cost you nothing. If you ain't supporting, the least thing you can do, if you're not supporting in the Cash App or the Super Chat, the least thing you can do is hit the like button. That's free. That don't cost you nothing. Hey man, that debate last night, it wasn't even close. I know, you know what I'm saying? And Ricky be killing me, man. Ricky, hey, I be cracking up because Ricky gonna come up there and he gonna make you feel like a goddamn idiot. Ricky will give you a whole goddamn lecture on why you fucked up in the debate and what you should have said. Hey, hey, Ricky be too goddamn serious. Yeah, that shit wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker, you put a whooping on Gang Green. And I knew it was going, come on, bro. Dude went up there and was just like, bro, you got to stay on this topic. I told him, he tried to pretend like, you know what I'm saying? I thought that me and him was going to debate. I thought me and him was going to be debating now. You got quiet about this shit, but that shit wouldn't even be no debate. But first of all, bro, you got to stay on the topic. You talking about all type of shit that don't have nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm talking about? The shit he was talking about had nothing to do with anything that they were supposed to be debating on. But it's crazy. It's like when you go into a Terrence Crawford debate, unless you just a fucking wizard at debating, it's a lose. It's a lose-lose. Like, you can't win that debate, especially if you debate somebody like Knockout, like me, like BFTB, or, you know what I'm saying, like Money Brown, like people that just been doing this shit and talking about this subject for a very long time. We know the ins and the outs on everything that's going down, that's happened with this situation. So, yeah, bro. And that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come with that shit last night. But yeah, y'all smash the like button. Zoe for life. Why we ain't even see, this is the problem, right? We haven't even started talking about Gervonta Davis yet, and you feel the need to already start coming in here defending that shit that he did. What the fuck is wrong with y'all fans? What is wrong with y'all fans? What are y'all gonna do if your favorite boxer says that he's retiring tomorrow? You know what? I don't want to fight no more. I'm retired. What the fuck will some of y'all do? The way y'all carry on sometimes, like the way some of y'all fans carry on about y'all favorite fighters, that shit is disgusting. To be a grown-ass man and to carry on like some of y'all do when it comes to your favorite fighters, that shit is disgusting. Like real talk. We ain't even start talking about Gervonta Davis yet. We talking about some shit totally different, and niggas is already coming in here in the chat trying to defend the shit. Like they let me get up, let me get in the chat, let me get a jump start on this shit. Like this is crazy. This shit crazy. Cause I guarantee you, Zoe for life. If this same situation was with, let's just say, Canelo Alvarez, I guarantee you your ass wouldn't be in here typing that same shit that you typing in my chat right now. He says, it's because of the title of the video. Nigga, do you know how to fucking sit down and listen? So in school, right, was you the kid in school when the teacher talking about one whole subject, the teacher talking about, okay, we gonna study social, we gonna do social studies and history, and then you sitting in your chair and you just start blabbering, just start yelling out math answers and shit, math equations. That's what you do. The teacher talking about history and social studies, and that's what y'all working on in class, and you just walk in the goddamn fucking door and start blurting out math equations. I also got on my title, Toney Harrison is ready. And I got on there, Stephen Espinoza talks about Jaron Ennis. Matthew Thomas says, you late to the party, but I know it's going to be a bar. He said, yo, late to the party, but I know it's going to be a barbecue. Cook, my guy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. We going to get to that situation, dog. It ain't no need for you to come in and start typing paragraphs trying to, defend Gervonta Davis. When we get to that situation, then you can defend Gervonta Davis, dog. Aisha said Toney Harrison did his press conference in the beater. Tony comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He got the fitted on. You know what I'm talking about? The wife beater on. And hey, in his shades. That's how you coming, Detroit style. Tar Sam, salute. Appreciate you. In that Cash App. That's how he coming. He coming straight to Detroit style with the buffs on. You know what I'm saying? The fitted cap, the buffs, and the goddamn, you said the wife beater. And some slippers. Toney Harrison, like, man, I'm comfortable in this bitch. Fuck it. My man, Knockout 86. What's happening with it? Knockout? He in the super chat. He said it's easy. I absolutely rock with Tank to the fullest, but I hate him asking for a catch weight / rehydration clause. He don't need it, right? I mean, bro. Now it's easier, right, for Knockout to just keep it 100 and say, you know what, this is what it is. This is easy. I ain't gonna just shit on him and call him a bitch and call him and say he ain't what he's hyped up to be and all that. I'm gonna just say, look, I rock with him and he don't need that shit. So I don't know why he did it. Other niggas the other niggas that's defending this, you gotta lose sleep defending this shit. You gotta go from channel to channel arguing with people trying to defend this shit. Why? Just keep it 100. Because if it was another fighter that you don't rock with like that, you'll be saying the exact opposite of what you're saying right now. That's a fact. Big Dose, what it do, Big Dose? Great job judging the debate last night, Big Dose. It wasn't too easy. I mean, it wasn't too hard to judge, but Ultraman, what's happening with it? Salute. But I liked James Vaughn. Man, this show ain't got nothing to do with Blue Blood. You ain't got to come in here and say no negative shit about Blue Blood. It ain't got nothing to do with Blue Blood. Come in here and, you know what I'm saying, say what's up. Say what's up to me. Say what's up to the chat. Don't come through the door talking shit about Blue Blood. We ain't talking about no Blue Blood. But Ultraman, appreciate you, man. But James Vaughn, salute to you. Mac World Media, what's happening with it? He says, I can't connect to StreamYard, so check my drop key. I did a shout out to you too. Salute to ETB in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna go check you out for sure. But Mac World, and you know, I want you to continue to build your platform, man. Because Mac World, you got a dope platform, right? You got a dope platform. And like I said, if anything I can do to help you build your platform, you know, I'm with it. I'm with it. But like I said, a great way is shit. If you want to debate on that topic with Gervonta Davis over there on Knockout, you know, I don't really do the debates and stuff no more. But if you want to do the debate over there on Knockout, you know, let's do it. I ain't, you know, shit. We can do it for sure. I know you're a credible opponent because, hey, you do your thing. But let's move on. Let's move on. We're gonna get to the topic that everybody want to talk about. But Gervonta Davis, Toney Harrison, man. Toney Harrison, to me, he looked like he ready. Toney Harrison is in great spirits. He got a lot riding against him going over there fighting in Australia. But hey, I think that Toney Harrison, man, he could pull it out. Toney Harrison been through a lot, man. You know, Toney Harrison was dealing with a lot when his father died, right? Unexpectedly from COVID. It's one thing when, you know, like having to lose your dad that you very close with and that is your trainer, like the Russells, you know what I'm saying? He had to go through the same thing that the Russells did. But his might have even been a little worse because I think the Russells, they got a chance to kind of prepare themselves for it because, you know, they pops had been sick for a long time. With Toney Harrison, this shit just happened out the blue. He ain't know his pops was going to catch COVID and then die from it. And so, you know, that shit hit Toney Harrison very hard. Very hard. It hit him hard. And man, I felt for him. I felt for him. And so he had to go from being trained by his father that he'd been trained by his whole life to being trained by his brother, and they don't even get along. Now, y'all know how a sibling relationship be when y'all don't get along. It's like, motherfucker, you can't tell me shit. Man, you telling me to do this shit, but you don't even know what you're talking about. And that's kind of how the relationship, you know, was at times because Toney Harrison talked about it like he don't he don't be knowing what he's talking about a lot of times. Like he ain't nothing like my dad when it comes to being a trainer. And you saw that when Toney Harrison came back and fought Brian Perella. He didn't look too good. But then I guess, you know, then he was like, he implemented himself. He started kind of really training himself like that, and his brother working with his brother, and they, you know, they got used to each other, and their relationship came a little closer. And now you saw him in the Garcia fight, and he looked a lot better. Now we're gonna get to see him in his third training camp. He's pretty active, you know. He ain't before he had set out damn near 2 years and tried to come back, so he's more active now. And I think we're gonna get Toney Harrison at his best. Think we're gonna really be able to get Toney Harrison at his best, and I'm looking forward to this fight. Now, Rick 10, what's happening with it, Rick? Sheena, what's going on with it? Queen Sheena in the building, and my queen Gina is in the building. What's up with it, baby? James Kelly, what it do? What it do in that super chat once again? The OG James Kelly, he says, casual boxing fans go off topic. I love the sport, and I am not afraid to tell it like it is as it pertains to my opinion. He says, example, I am a Crawford fan, but I like to hear all sides as it relates to my fighter from the different boxing channels. Yeah, and then that's how it should be, man. That's how it should be. You should just, you know, I can't tell a man what to do because we know that a lot of men, they ain't gonna move right. They ain't moving right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all ain't moving right, man. And I'm gonna tell you like this before we get, because we're gonna talk about the Gervonta Davis situation, you know, but I'm gonna say it like this, right? A lot of these young fans, I understand. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these young cats that's, you know, young, 18, 19, in their early 20s, mid 20s. I understand. You know what I'm talking about? Gervonta Tank Davis is somebody that they look up to. They fanned out. You know what I'm saying? They want to be like Gervonta Davis. They want to dress like him. They want to talk like him, all of that shit. They still, you know, got a kid mentality. But when it's some some of you grown ass men, the way y'all carrying on, that shit is disgusting to me. I don't give a fuck what fighter it is. Like y'all gotta cut it out with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all niggas know wrong is wrong and what's right is right. You know what I'm saying? And to just go against all your morals, if you got any morals, for a fighter that you don't even know, that you know he ain't moving right, something is wrong with that. Real talk, something wrong with that. I don't know just how y'all getting down, but we gonna talk about that. But man, Toney Harrison, hold on real quick, y'all, and y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash on the right like button. Cause I want to get, I forgot I was supposed to hit up Rachael. I'm trying to get Rachael and Nonito on here. And I just hit him right now. I should have hit him earlier, but I forgot. I started doing some things and it slipped my mind. But I want to get them on here because a lot of y'all think y'all know more than a real professional fighter do. A lot of y'all ain't never been in the ring, ain't never put no gloves on, ain't never cut no weight, ain't never sparred, ain't never did shit. Think y'all know more than a real professional fighter do. So, you know, like I said, hopefully they hit me back before the show over. My man Jay Miller said Toney had a great performance his last fight. Yeah, he did. Aisha says Tim Tszyu looked crazy calm in the press conference. He looked focused. I can't wait. I mean, he should, Aisha. He fighting in his backyard. He fighting in his home country, and he bringing a man from Detroit. He bringing a man from Detroit to his home country. So he should be confident. And a man that he handpicked Toney Harrison. So I think he don't think Toney Harrison is like he is. You know what I'm saying? He don't think that Toney Harrison is coming with it like he gonna come with it, but I think that Toney Harrison is gonna surprise him, man, because Toney Harrison can box. When Toney Harrison is on his A game, right, and he bring his shit, it's very few fights. I ain't never seen a fighter outbox Toney Harrison yet. Not Jermell Charlo. Well, we know Jared Hurd ain't outboxing nobody, but none of them dudes that Toney Harrison been in the ring with can outbox him. They can't fuck with him when it comes to. But now, where they get Toney Harrison at is he don't always be in shape like he should be. So he'll start to fade. He'll start to fade at 9th round, 8th, 9th round. You know what I'm saying? 10th round, he'll start to fade, and then he'll get knocked out because he get too tired, and he just, he get caught. So if Tim Tszyu can't catch Toney Harrison and knock him out, Tim Tszyu ain't gonna win. Well, he's not gonna win the fight for real. Now they might rob him out of the fight because he fighting in his own backyard over there in Australia, but he can't outbox and beat Toney Harrison 12 rounds. He can't. James Kelly in the building once again, always coming through showing love, man. He said casual boxing fans go off topic. Oh, I read that one already. My bad. And then I missed my man Matthew Thomas. He says, yo, ETB, the casual fans are very important to all sports, but keep it 100. We must feel facts. That's how we grow and learn this boxing ish. Yeah, that's real talk. Facts is facts. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And you know, some of us is too grown to start to be pretending like we don't know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what's right from wrong. We got to cut it out. But yeah, man, I can't wait for that fight this weekend. Somebody help me out. Anybody that's in the building, what time does that fight with Tim Tszyu and Toney Harrison come on Saturday? Because it's in Australia. So what time does the event start? Let me know. Roderick Hunter say Detroit in the building. Yeah, Tim Tszyu is the favorite, but he can't outbox Toney Harrison. Real talk. Somebody let me know. Somebody help me out. Because I've been trying to figure out what time that event comes on Saturday because I don't want to miss it. Do it come on early in the morning? Do it come on just the regular time? Like, because they fighting in Australia, and I know Australia is like a 19-hour time difference from me. So they fighting on Sunday, but it'll be Saturday in the U.S. So where we at? Where we at with it? Shawa Allah says, Lord, please, no robberies. Dev did a clinic first fight on Kambosos and got the W, praying for Toney. But see, the thing is Dev put on a clinic. Like, they couldn't rob Dev because he beat him damn near every round. So, and none of the rounds was close. He made it to where it wasn't even close. So, Toney Harrison gonna have to do that. He gonna have to do that. He gonna make it to where it's not close. You feel me? Let me see. I think somebody, Chef Rio says 10:45 Eastern, Showtime special. Only fight available is the main event. Oh wow, they only showing the main event. Okay, that's different. So 10:45 Eastern time. So that is 8. Let me see. That's 8:45 my time. That's 8:45 for me. Okay. Now I know anything I do this weekend, I got to do earlier. Make sure I'm at the crib by 8:45 because I can't miss that fight. And my man James Kelly back in the super chat showing love. He says, ETB, as you stated, Toney Harrison is going to outbox Tim Tszyu. He's going to have to bust his nose, eyes, and everything to get the decision. I think the fight is going to be early in the morning, Tim Tszyu time. Yeah, so my man said it's 10:45 Eastern time. So, like I said, it's 8:45 my time. Yeah, 8:40. Yeah. Shower Allah. I'm on Mountain Time, so that's 8:45 my time. Yeah, PM. Brian Francis is PM. It's PM. I believe it's PM. Because they're 19, because they fighting on Sunday. And they, like I said, from my time, they 19 hours from my time. So I believe, yeah, it's Saturday at 8:45 p.m. Seattle Rick, what it do? What's happening with it, Seattle Rick? But one thing I want to talk about, right? I want to talk about this before I get into the Gervonta Davis situation. Hold on. Hold on, hold on. So I want to talk about, like I said, smash the like button, get the likes up for me. The likes is free. I want to talk about real quick. Everybody was running around talking about that. Well, not everybody, but we know who y'all was, right? We know who y'all was. The Terrence Crawford fanatics was running around talking about how Jaron Ennis ducked Terrence Crawford, right? Now, and talking about how BlK Prime tried to make the fight happen and all of that, right? Well, I want y'all to listen to what Stephen Espinoza had to say about the situation. Hold on. I want y'all to listen to what Stephen Espinoza had to say about the situation, right? I was listening to earlier, and I'm gonna just play it for y'all. Let me find it real quick. Here it is right here. And this is via YSM Sports Media. So shout out to YSM Sports Media. I'm gonna play it for y'all. This is what Stephen Espinoza had to say about the situation with BlK Prime. And y'all get the likes up if you can. Get the likes up.
Versus Crawford is obviously the biggest fight in the division. But how real is Jaron Ennis versus Spence, Jaron Ennis versus Bud? Like, can those fights be made?
Sure. Look, the reality is, Jaron's a guy who will take any opportunity. I mean, I sort of look at him a little bit where Spence was a few years ago when he was having trouble getting his title shot. And he had to go all the way over to England and fight Kell Brook, to get his title shot. And so I'm not saying that, Jaron's going to have to go to, foreign country to do it. But, you got to go with whatever opportunity comes up. And Boots is not saying no to anybody. There's, at this point, there's literally nobody in the division that he wouldn't fight on a moment's notice. There's not a fight that he wouldn't take, whatever the opportunity is. So sure, if there's a clear path to making one of those fights, whether it's Spence or Thurman or Crawford, I think Boots is up there in the top 5, no matter how you sort of rank the division. He's definitely one of the top fighters in the division. He'll get his title shot shortly.
You heard grumblings that Bud wanted to fight Boots and that they reached out. Were those talks ever really tangible?
I saw some stuff about people talking about, some discussions with BlK Prime. I wouldn't characterize that discussion. There was a discussion, but the reality is they don't have a deal with Crawford. If Crawford's under contract with BlK Prime, then maybe it goes through that. But the reality is they're trying to put together a fight just like we're trying to put together a fight. So the reality is it was a very short conversation. They didn't really bring much to the table in terms of helping make the deal. So there really was no point in following up on that. If there's going to be a Boots and fight between Boots and Crawford, there are easier ways to do it without going through that fight.
But that's a fight that you wouldn't say no to.
Oh, absolutely not. And I don't think Crawford would. I'm sure Ennis would. I don't think any of those. I think right now Spence and
he's saying that BlK Prime is talking like, yeah, they was trying to be the lead and set up this. He said they didn't bring nothing to the table. He says, and if Terrence Crawford wants that fight, that's a fight that they will be interested in. For sure, they're interested in that fight. So once again, if Bud wanted to fight, right, if he really, see, that's what I'm saying. All of this shit is bluffing. It's a bluff. If Bud really wanted to fight Jaron Ennis, they could have made it happen. Why are you trying to pretend like you tried to make he ain't really said nothing about it. So I don't want to really put this on Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford himself, he never came out and said nothing about Jaron Ennis. The only thing we heard Bud say about Jaron Ennis is he said that they never brought that fight to the table for him, right? But I'm saying the reports that's coming out, not by Terrence Bud Crawford, but y'all know where these reports are coming from. And they tried to insinuate and run with a narrative that Terrence Crawford, right, was ducked by Jaron Ennis because they presented a fight to Jaron and Jaron Ennis turned it down, right? It wasn't that at all. Because for one, if Bud Crawford wants to fight Jaron Ennis, why in the fuck would Bud Crawford go to BlK Prime for that fight when he is not signed to BlK Prime and Jaron Ennis is not signed with BlK Prime? You were just dealing with Showtime, right? Trying to get a deal done with Errol Spence, supposedly. All you do is go right back to Showtime and deal with the same people that you was dealing with before with the Errol Spence situation. So, does Terrence Crawford want a Jaron Boots in this fight? No. Is he afraid of Jaron Boots in this? I'm not going to say he's afraid of him. But he don't want to fight right now. The way that Bud Crawford maneuvers, right? You got to look at the way that Bud Crawford maneuvers. Jaron Boots Ennis ain't going to do nothing for him. He's too dangerous. And they're not going to pay him the $20 million or so that he probably going to want to fight Jaron Ennis. So why would he fight Jaron Ennis? Now, Alexis Rocha, that's very promising to Bud because it's an easy fight. He can get a payday off of. I don't know how much they'll pay him. Even if he get another $5 million like he got with BlK Prime. That's cool because it's an easy fight. Those are tune-up type fights for Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That's a tune-up fight. Alexis Rocha is a tune-up for Bud Crawford. That's easy. He go in there and play with Alexis Rocha for a few rounds and then get him up out of there like he did David I've been sneezing. To me, right, to tell you the truth, if you really want to ask who is the better fighter, David I've been sneezing or Alexis Rocha, David I've been sneezing is actually better than Alexis Rocha. David I've been sneezing is better than Rocha. So if he did what he did to I've been sneezing, what you think he gonna do to Rocha? Rocha is struggling against 38-year-old fighters that ain't never fought in the U.S. African fighters and shit. Dude ain't good. He is what he is. He's a C-level fighter at best. You know what I'm saying? Can you think you could beat Terrence Crawford? Well, man, I don't know. I just gotta, we just gotta get in the ring. I'm gonna do my best and we'll see. Just say you can't beat him. Why are you even fighting this man? I mean, are they gonna give him his biggest payday to fight Terrence Crawford? I don't even know why you want to fight him. What's the point? You going into a fight you don't even think you can win. My man James Kelly back again in that super chat says, K, this is my concern about the background scenes in boxing. I feel the research about BlK was not executed like it should have. Now BlK appears to be falling apart. Yeah, because people want to jump head first. In boxing, it is a dirty business. It's a small business, right? Where they just not going to let anybody come in, right? These people that's been in boxing for 40, 50, 60 plus years, they're not finna let somebody new just jump in the game and snatch up fighters that they already have signed and under contract. And nobody's going to do that. That ain't how business work. You know what I'm saying? You got to grind your way to the top. Some make it, most don't. But anyway, let's stop talking about that Jaron Boots Ennis was offered a Bud Crawford fight and turned it down, because that ain't what happened. And you heard that man say BlK Prime, we could have put on the fight at Showtime, but BlK Prime brought nothing to the table. It's the truth. If they couldn't even front Adrian Broner $10,000, AB and Christy Martin, when that last fight fell out, she says, at least give Adrian Broner $10,000 to hold him off until his next fight. Give him 10 bands, so he can have something to live off of to hold him off. Because y'all got to think, he owe people from camp. You know what I'm saying? He still got to live and eat and everything. He got a nutritionist and all that. Give him 10 bands to hold him off. until you could get him another fight. They didn't even have it. They couldn't even, you mean to tell me you couldn't get this man 10,000? Y'all supposed to be trying to set up big ass huge boxing events and you couldn't get that man 10 bands? And so AB was like, man, first of all, they didn't give me no money up front. They didn't promise me, they didn't give me nothing that they promised. And then at the end of the day, when everything was said and done, they didn't find me another opponent and they couldn't give me 10,000 to hold me off. The fuck? So, you know, I mean, hey, now, I don't know what they promised Adrian Broner from the very beginning. But I do know that, you know, Blue, who is a part of BlK Prime, was saying that these guys already had got money up front. Adrian Broner already had got, you know, some money up front. And he sat up there and said that was a lie. He hadn't got no money up front. Obviously, they didn't give him nothing. So, you know, you can't come into the game like they did, because as quick as you come in, you're going to come out quicker. Quick as you came in, you're going to leave quicker. Hold on. I'm going to send, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to send Nonito and Rachael a link right now, so we can cook on this situation with Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Hold on. And y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash on the like button. Mama's boy said, but was willing to lose millions on Terrence Crawford. Yeah, you know, hey, we see where they got him. But yeah, y'all smash the like button. We finna cook on this Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia situation now. We about to cook on this situation. Y'all smash the like button. And let's get to cooking, man. Because I see it's more information that's come out when it comes to this Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, the rehydration clause that Tank put on Gervonta Davis. Now, it's an article that came out in Boxing Scene, and they said that not only, right, it's saying that not only, right, does Ryan Garcia have a rehydration clause, but he can't come into the ring on fight night, right? He can't come into the ring 10 pounds over the fight weight. That's what it's saying in Boxing Scene. I said, I don't know. I don't have the contract. But that means, see, when it's a rehydration clause with the IBF. With the IBF, it's usually how it works is you weigh in again on the fight night, right, at a certain time early in the morning. That way, you know what I'm saying, you got a little bit of time to try to get back as right as you can. You're not going into the ring. With that rehydration clause, with how big Ryan Garcia is, you're not going into the ring nowhere near 100%. You just not. You ain't. Wayne said, funny as hell. What's funny? Wayne, I want to know what's funny, dog. You're not gonna go in the ring nowhere near 100%. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, in Boxing Scene, now it's saying that not only do they got the early weigh-in, right, on fight night, before he get in the ring, he can't be 10 pounds over that weight. So he can't come in the ring over 146 pounds. Now, if you look at Ryan Garcia, man that's 5'10" and a half, in the way that he's built. How much do y'all think he walk around at his regular weight if he ain't cutting weight? Real talk. How much do y'all think he walks around at if he's not cutting weight, his regular weight? Johnny Q says 175. He can walk around at 175 easy. My man Contender Ray Jean says 165. Like, and that's easy, right? Like Ryan Garcia, a man that's 5'10.5", and he's built like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is not built. He ain't built like real thick, but he's built like he got a medium kind of like he got some size on him. Nah, Devin Bell 160, 165. If he walk around bigger than that, I can tell you that for sure. For sure. Looking at Ryan Garcia, he could walk around at 175 easy. And that's even kind of small. 170, 175, that's even small. Because you got to think, look at Errol Spence. Ryan Garcia bigger than he's bigger than Errol Spence. He's built wider than Errol Spence. And people talk about that Errol Spence is a weight bully at 147. Look at Errol Spence, right? He's built wider than Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford, right? Terrence Crawford's own nephew. His own nephew told me that he told me at the Errol Spence and Ugas fight, he says Bud want to move up to 154 to fight Jermell Charlo. He says one reason is because that weight is getting tough for Bud Crawford to make. This is what his nephew told me. No cap. He says the 147 pounds is getting tough for Terrence Crawford to make. Hold on real quick, y'all. I'm sending Rachael and Nonito this link. But he said it was getting tough. Now, if you look at Ryan Garcia, if they stand side by side, Ryan Garcia looked bigger than Bud Crawford. So what I'm saying, all of these men are around the same size, right? And we know at one point I seen Bud Crawford get on the scales and he showed that he was 180 pounds. We've seen Errol Spence get up to 190 pounds. So easily Ryan Garcia can walk around at 170 easy. And he will be in shape at 170. Not fight shape, but he'll be in shape. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me get this email sent out. Okay. All right. So with that being said, right, I see it's so many people trying to talk about that. First of all, Ryan Garcia having to do a catch weight at 136. That's not helping Ryan Garcia out. 1 pound because he already struggling to make the weight anyway. And I'm not taking up for Ryan Garcia. I'm just keeping it 100. I was rooting for Tank in the fight. I had told everybody I had Tank, stopping him. But I don't think that 1 pound is helping Ryan Garcia because he already struggling to make the weight. On top of that, now you got a rehydration clause to where he got to walk around the next morning and watch what he eat and drink. And like, it's crazy to me. Like I said, y'all was getting on me yesterday because I was against this. I said it's not right. Everybody has something to say. Everybody said it's not going to affect Ryan Garcia. It's not going to do this and that, right? So reason I want to and Nonito on is because They are in, Nonito is a world champion. You see all those belts back there. He can tell y'all a lot better than I could. So I want to get y'all take on this situation. And salute to Nonito and Rachel. Salute to both of you all.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. And thank you for having us.
Yeah, I think this is the first time he's actually been here. So he's all cool. I mean, we've been, the funny thing is people that say, oh, rehydration causes doesn't make a difference and all this stuff has never clearly cut weight, ever. When you cut weight, first of all, it's already draining. And we know at this point that it's not where Ryan's fighting. He's fighting at 140. He's having to cut not just 2, which I thought would have been fair, right? 137, let's meet in the middle, but a pound over the 135 limit. And let me just say before we start getting into this, that I actually have Tank winning the fight even before all this. So I don't see why it was needed, considering I believe in, at least for me, I believe that Tank's abilities and breaking down how things go in the boxing ring, I had him winning regardless, right? That being said, the IBF, this is not even for a title, but IBF is the only sanctioning body that has a 10-pound weight limit, not even a 10% weight limit above the contracted weight. Then on to top on, okay, well, let's do a, 9 a.m., 8 a.m. weigh-in. And from what I heard from you, and I actually heard from somebody else also, that he can't weigh over the 146 limit the night, like walking into the ring, like that's crazy. I think it's nuts. And I actually asked him, I was like, what do you think Ryan weighs in at? Because you're up to Ryan's forehead. I think.
Ryan's taller than me, of course, but he didn't look that big. Maybe because when I saw him, he was getting ready for the fight or for a fight. But usually 5'9", 5'10". I mean that, and he's solid. He's not like he's a skinny guy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure he's probably about 20 or more go on a regular basis, you know what I mean? But usually fighters go up 30, 40, 50, especially when they're at the 140, 147 fighting, they go up really big. So it doesn't surprise me for him to be walking 20 to 30 pounds on a regular day, and him to go down to 136 is a lot. And for me, let me give you an example. When I was fighting at 112, I'm 5'7". So that would be kind of like that, right? When I was fighting at 112, making that weight, it hurt. It hurts so bad. My body hurts. I get tapped in the body and it hurts. Like I feel like it was, I didn't have the stamina to do it. So I was just lucky I got the power to knock my opponent out at that weight. But when I get tapped in the stomach, I can feel all of that, and that's why I grab and hold. And this is why, for me, I don't believe a lot in weight bullies and all that stuff, because when you go down, you're hurting, man. And the thing is, you can't recover. You can't recover in the hydration within 24 hours. There's just no possible way, So for him to even if his normal weight would be about 20 pounds, and he's dropping down not from 140 but from 130 to 136, that means he has at least 20 or more pounds to gain, but he's only allotted 10 pounds, and that's crazy to me. But again, he signed for it, and that's on him to blame. But I feel, from my experience, that if he is only 10 pounds over the limit of when he weighed in, he will not be at 100%. He'll probably around 70, if that.
And let's let's be honest, where we're sitting right now, when they've actually finally signed down the contract, going back and forth right now as it stands today, there's 6 weeks. Am I correct? I think 1, 2, 3.
22nd. Yeah.
5, 6 weeks. And the 6th week is the fight week, right? So depending on when this was all agreed upon and things like that, like you're starting to count down. And it's, when you're dealing with a lot of the fights and stuff like that, it's like, okay, well, do I start cutting now? We have like 16 weeks, but there's no fight signed yet. So do I start cutting, or do I just indulge until 12
Until
or 8
fight.
weeks until you get
And
the
it's the mentality of
weight.
the fighters too. It's like, well, when I start training, that's when I'll start cutting weight. That's why I'll slow down and all that stuff. Maybe I'll just indulge in this day until I get the contract or whatever. That's how fighter thinks, and I thought that way for a very long time until I started to get a little bit older and I started to realize that my body wasn't working the way I wanted it to work. And that's when I started to get more healthier and getting a lifestyle of being healthy and training all the time. But for the younger guys, they don't do that. I was one of them.
Yeah, he walks around about 12 to at high 15 pounds, but that's like not doing anything and eating buffets, right? Usually it's 12 to 9 pounds that he's walking around away from his weight limit. But with stuff like this is the thing. Yes, we have to hold accountability that Ryan and Ryan's team had decided and signed this. He was going to do anything. He's been saying
he's confident. Yeah, he's confident.
But whatever, now you cannot use that as excuse.
No,
okay?
There is no excuse. You said you're going to do it. You're going to make it happen, and you can't go back with that.
But it's a double-edged sword for both guys because when Tank beats Ryan, there's going to be an asterisk for a lot of people, and they're going to say, well, if you fought him fully hydrated with all these stipulations, then did you really beat him? Why didn't you fight him like you fought the other guy at 140? What was the other guy that Tank fought? I can't remember. I'm blanking. But he fought at 140 before.
That was Mario Barrios.
Yes.
Barrios.
So you fought that guy, but you knew he wasn't going to be a threat, right? And you're like fine with it, no stipulations. It was fine. You went to 140. Now you're taking another 140 fighter, but you're pulling everything to your advantage, and that's what I'm saying. So for me, like, I think there's going to be an asterisk looking at this fight. I think it's like almost like you lose either way because of the narrative that's being pushed out there.
So, and see, this is what I'm talking about with some of these fans. So, Al King, he says BS. So we got a professional fighter, right? We got two professionals on here telling you to break down and giving you the facts, and you saying that it's BS. Like, I don't get some of these fans. Like, real talk, I don't get some of these fans. How do you know more than a world champion, a multi-time world champion, multi-division world champion, but you telling him it's BS, and you know more than he do? Like,
well, I mean,
it's funny. I've been fighting for 23 years as a professional boxer, so I've been learning how to cut weight since I was 11 years old, and so I know how the body feels, and if they can stay at a division that that they can take advantage on, they will, and that's why we cut weight. But the obvious thing is they can't make weight because they know if they do make weight, they're going to be so much weaker. And that's why guys are moving up in weight because they can't. Right? And people don't understand. Just try to cut down 10 pounds in a couple of days and see how you feel.
I've done 10 pounds in 2 days when I used to compete. And most of these guys can't even skip a damn meal without crying. So, I mean, that's the problem with the ignorance of some fans that, it's cool sitting on your couch eating popcorn, never been at the gym, and you're saying, well, 10 pounds shouldn't mean anything, and yet you've never actually cut. I'm not talking about fad dieting. I'm not talking about like trying to fit into your prom dress kind of mess. I'm talking about actually cutting even water weight, being cotton mouthed around your mouth, randomly getting cramps because you cut so much.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people have ever done this in their life.
Right. And the thing too is that if you don't hydrate enough and you're only able to hydrate this amount, you're going to cramp up. If they expect Ryan to be 10%, 10 pounds going to the fight, he's going to be cramping all day. He's going to be hurting all day. He's going to be so vulnerable. I don't care how good he thinks he is, or whatever he feels, the confidence level that he have. But when your body says no, your body says no.
Yeah, the science behind dehydration is the fact that you can't, your blood viscosity is a lot thicker. So it's not moving towards any of your muscles, etc., which means that whenever, like him pushing off on just a double jab could cramp up his calf muscles. How is he supposed to, everyone's saying, Ryan his game plan is to box on the outside. how are you going to do that when your legs are not reacting?
And if your body is not moving or flowing, your blood is not flowing because it's thicker, you can get tired faster. And one thing that people don't know or don't understand is it's going to be very dangerous for him, because all of those punches that he receives in his head is going to be very damaging for him. It's as simple as that.
And I want to say this, right? Because I know, and Rachel said, and I agree, you signed the contract, right? But then a lot of people, well, he is kind of like he had his back up against the wall, right? Because, right, when the negotiations is going on, if he pulls out of the fight and say, look, you know what? He was trying to put a rehydration clause. He trying to do this, that. Oh, you're scared. You know, we knew you was going to duck out. You knew. So he's young. He's listening to all these things. So, and he knows, and they know when they're doing the negotiations, his back up against the wall. He can't pull out, because if he pull out, that's going to be on him. That's going to make Gervonta Davis even look more dangerous. It's going to make Ryan Garcia look like he was clout chasing. So he's thinking about all these things, and he had to do this in order to make the fight. Because if people are saying, oh, well, he signed it. Well, it's either he signed it or it wouldn't have been no fight. So it's kind of like, that's a hard situation for somebody, you know, that's young like him to be put into.
Yeah.
And they know that. They know that they're putting his back up against the wall. And I want to get y'all thoughts on that. But let me read this super chat real quick. My man James, he says emphasis is on Golden Boy, which is Oscar, TGD, and he corrected that in the chat. TGD, Tank is related to Floyd. He says, could this be an Oscar and Floyd saga? It may not mean a thing, but it could be setting something up for the future. I hope it sets up for other elite fighters to step up to the plate. Food for thought. Well, I mean, you just got to have both fighters that really want to fight. If you're talking about for other fighters to make mega fights in the future, that's what it is. You know, this fight would have never been made if it was up to the promotional companies. It wouldn't have been made. But like they tell you, hey, both fighters really wanted it bad. But now, to me, my opinion is Ryan wanted it a lot worse, because if obviously he didn't want that rehydration clause in there. Obviously, they was fighting behind the scenes. That was probably one of the reasons it was taking so long. That was probably one of the reasons that when I continue to say that Oscar De La Hoya, you could tell he don't want this fight. That was probably one of the reasons why he didn't want the fight to go through. But his fighter, Ryan Garcia, was adamant, like, nah, just make it happen. And that's his experience. That's his inexperience. That's it. He's not experienced in these type of situations. So he's young. He got big headed and like, fuck it. I can do it anyway. Fuck it. Just make it don't matter. Just fuck it. But it is gonna matter.
And
but,
like the thing is that putting the responsibility and accountability for both fighters. Yes, Ryan did sign, so he's responsible for what he signed for. But Tank apparently decided to do these stipulations based on the weight. And so what does that say about where he's putting this fight at in his career? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, like, cool, you're gonna say that this is Ryan's fault. Well, Tank put it on there. Why did Tank put it on there? Is there a reason that he doesn't want to fight Ryan at 140? And if that reason is because he said with the Barrios fight, I think it was at 140, that he was too small. So you are alluding that you're having a problem with how big Ryan is. Why don't you just say that? You don't want him to punch that hard. You don't want him to have that advantage being the bigger guy.
I mean, no one's gonna say that. Any fighter's going to, no one's really gonna say that.
But that's what it is.
But I know, I understand that. But what I'm saying too is that I think the people, because I don't think, as a fighter, we fight, right? We don't think about all this other stuff. So I think, and again, I always say this, why fights don't happen or why this and this and that is because the people advising them. There's people behind Tank, there's people behind Ryan, there's people, all of this stuff. And sometimes, fighters are gonna go, you know what, let's just make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is what Ryan came in and said, you know what, forget what Oscar said. I want this fight happening. But I mean, how they came about with all this negotiation, how about back and forth, that's not happening, this and this and that. Ryan did wanted to fight, so he signed down for everything else. But I'm just saying, as a fighter, for me, I don't ever put anybody in disadvantage or anything like that. I've always looked at it as like, you know what, I fight anybody. I want them to be at their best, and take all of that because I believe in myself, you know. And I know that Tank believed in himself, but I think going into all of, you know, being with Mayweather and stuff like that, that they do have stipulation of taking advantage of things to better themselves, to perform better for themselves, you know, in some fights to have that advantage to look good in all the fights.
And listen, like it's happened. Like there's other fighters. Like I see a lot of people that are saying like, oh, well, what about this fighter, that fight? Let me just put it out there. I don't like damn catch weights. I can care less about catch weights. There's weight divisions for a reason. If you're either going to make this weight or that weight, Manny Pacquiao's done it, Canelo's done it, Floyd Mayweather's done it, now Tank's doing it. Like, I think it's complete BS. Like, so I don't make excuses for anyone that's used that as an advantage. For example, he wants to touch and go in the 115 category. Can we do a catch weight and say, hey, y'all need to come up to 117.9 or 117 and play all this BS because he's the bigger name between the 115 and 118s at this point? Yeah. But does that solidify him as a 115 champion? No. So he's going to make the sacrifice and adjustments to make the 115 without any excuse, without saying, oh, well, you were bullying the 115 pounder, telling him to come up to the 17. As I said, any of those moves, I think it puts an asterisk in your career.
It really does. It definitely does. And like I said, man, a lot of people, you know, they look at Tank say Tank was gonna win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Tank, a lot of people had Tank knocking him out regardless. So why do you need to give yourself an extra edge? Now that makes me think, okay, well, we're looking at the fight like this, but you probably not looking at him in a whole different light than we're looking at Ryan Garcia. You know, and I've always said that Ryan Garcia is a dangerous opponent, a very dangerous opponent. I had Gervonta Davis winning the fight. Of course, I definitely do now. I mean, but why wouldn't you want to go into a fight like this, the biggest fight of both of you guys' career, with everything on the even playing field? If you're saying, okay, well, he's too big, don't fight him. Don't say he's too big, so I'm going to do this, and that to give him a disadvantage. I just can't respect that, because a lot of these guys that's in this comments saying it's bullshit and you guys are making excuses and he was going to knock him out anyway and it doesn't matter. A lot of y'all wasn't saying the same shit when it was Canelo doing it to people. This is a fact. If Terrence Crawford said, you know what, I'm cool with everything, Errol Spence, we just gonna have to put a rehydration clause on Errol Spence in order for me to take the fight. Everybody would fucking lose their goddamn mind. Yeah. Everybody would be losing their damn mind on Terrence Crawford. But because it's a fighter that you like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he has to tie one hand behind his back and fight Tank. It don't matter. He was gonna knock him out anyway. Who cares? Like, it's crazy.
Well, that's the funny part is that most of the people that are saying this is also the same people that are called, like, they're upset about weight bullying, right? They're like, oh, well, Ryan actually stands at 160. He should be walking at 160. This is actually reverse weight bullying. It's weight bullying in the other direction. You're dehydrating them more just so then you get an advantage.
Well, the thing about it, people don't understand is they look at the physical level, like say, oh, that guy's hella bigger than the other guy. But they don't understand it because they've never been to a ring when you are cutting like crazy and thinking that you're going to recover. That doesn't happen. I'm telling you, it hurts. When you get hit to the body, when you're cutting down weight, it hurts. You feel it more. You'll see more star coming at you because what? Your body is not at 100%.
Well, look at
But
Ryan.
Again, you know, I'm, you know, they made the fight happen. He made the fight happen. I'm just saying for a fact of how he would be going into the ring.
Yeah. And for people to be like, well, it doesn't matter. Then if you are saying that this weight, the 136 and the 10 pounds stepping into the ring doesn't matter, then why was it put on?
Mm-hmm.
You can't say that it doesn't matter and then actually and disregard the fact that it was put on for a reason. It wasn't for shits and giggles, guys. There was a rhyme and reason for it to be put there. And the only person that can answer why he put it there is Tank. And again, I still had Tank before this whole thing, so don't go like, oh, y'all hate Tank, because that's not a thing. Like,
it's crazy because it's like people they're already letting him fight at a catch weight. They're already giving him 1 pound. The fuck does that mean? You said, okay, we're fighting at 136, but now we got a rehydration. But like, come on now, like, let's stop the bullshit, stop the BS. You know, like that 1 pound is gonna just help him that much. That 1 pound to me, that 1 pound, the 136, that's helping Gervonta Davis more than anything, because he's had problems, you know, before in the past. He's missed weight before at 135. I believe his first fight when he moved up to 135, he missed weight against Gamboa, then had to come back and make it later. So that 1 pound, that's helping him. You know what I'm saying? That's not really helping Ryan Garcia, and especially now you're putting a rehydration clause on it. Let me read these super chats real quick. My man, Mr. Sanchez says, hey, champ, what percentage y'all think Ryan is going into the ring to fight on fight night? I think he answered that.
Well, I think from what stipulated, he could only be 10 pounds, right?
No, but he's saying like performance-wise, like he's
what percentage?
You already know.
Man, 70 or below, because if your body, it's like when you're cutting weight, you get so tired, right? And when your body doesn't recover because you're not having all that liquid and electrolytes and all that stuff in your system, your body's not going to function well, you know. And when it doesn't function well, you're going to get tired faster because your blood is still thicker going into your system, meaning that you won't be having a lot of the oxygen in your body. Your blood's not flowing as fluid as it could be. And I remember shadow boxing when I was cutting weight, I was getting lightheaded and I feel like I was going to faint, you know. And that's how it is with when you're cutting weight and you got thick blood flowing in your system. You just don't have enough oxygen in your system.
But in addition, let's be honest, most of the people that are on the chats, like they can gain all the way up to 5 pounds, depending on how big they already are and what their portion size is during a normal meal.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at that and, you know, you down like a bunch of Gatorade, a bunch of water, and you're already gaining 3 pounds.
For me,
so that's already 8 right there.
No, but for me, usually on that day, I'm drinking all this Gatorade or electrolytes and all this other stuff, Pedialyte and all this other stuff. I moves are around about 15 to 20 pounds just on that same day. Now the next day, I'm sweating all out, I'm peeing it all out, and I drop down to because I like to be
number 2.
I like to be closer to about 7 to 10 pounds because I feel good in that weight, you know. But when I'm drinking all of this stuff, I usually balloon up to like 20 pounds.
Yeah. And then
that's me fighting at 118.
Yeah. And then once he like gets his system going to be able to flush it out with which means that you are hydrated, it takes them a while to have to go pee after a weight cut.
I don't usually pee. I don't usually
push.
pee that day. I usually do it in the morning the next day. Even though I'm drinking a lot.
Mm-hmm. But then he walks in the ring about 129, 130. So 10, 11 pounds. And that's already heavy for him.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's definitely going to affect. Like, I don't know. Because I was very, very excited to see this fight, right? And to me, it takes some of the steam out of it. Like, I'm not as excited as I was. Because I always want to see the best fight the best at their best. Yeah. Like, I don't want to see one person at a handicap, you know what I'm saying, when I already had you winning. It's crazy. And James, I got you, James Kelly. I'm going to have to drop it in the chat, but give me a second. My man Jermaine Bean says, I'm tired of Ryan, all these TikTok videos ending April 22nd. Tank putting him in the dirt. I mean, that's cool, but that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. And salute to my man Jermaine B. You know, some people just don't like Ryan for whatever reason they got, but I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, you know. I don't think that man needed a rehydration clause. I really don't. I don't think that he should have had one in. He was the favorite anyway, you know, a big favorite. To a lot of people, he was a big favorite. My premier boxing champions, they're in the building. They say, we have a little time before our presser, but if you love boxing, you stop what you're doing to show Nonito love. Yeah, definitely. A legend in the game. a legend in the game. Nonito, a legend in the game. Man, I've been watching you since you were young. You know, we about the same age. I think I might be like a year older than you, but you know, since you first came in the game, man. Definitely a legend. Y'all got anything on the horizon? I know you were supposed to be fighting with what's the dude, the Australian dude, and then he pulled out.
Yeah. And now they had somebody from Mexico.
The WBC
the WBC announced it.
Yeah,
right?
the WBC went down the
I don't
rankings.
deal with that. She deals with all that stuff.
Yeah, don't ask him. So basically, number 1 was Maloney. He was number 2. Number 3 was the guy Maloney beat. Number 4 was the guy that he beat. Number 5 was Emmanuel Rodriguez. Number 6 was this guy. The thing is, because of the rankings within the 118, Jason Maloney moved. So he moved that way to the WBO. Number 3 and 4, which is the losers to him and Maloney, are scheduled to fight for an eliminator for the mandatory position. Number 5 is Emmanuel Rodriguez, who got sanctioned with the IBF, and will be fighting for a vacant title with the IBF. So number 6 is Alejandro Santiago Barrios.
Yeah, so that's the guy I'm gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
Alejandro Santiago Barrios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go look at him. Look him up.
We've seen him.
He had fought with Russell, Gary Russell, Anton Russell, the younger one, on my weight, and they had like a split decision.
Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio. Yeah. So they had a split decision. It was a close fight, supposedly. I didn't see it yet.
Okay, I'm definitely going. So when are y'all looking to make that fight? So
there's X amount of cards that are still being put together, and really excited for what PBC and Showtime are going to be putting out in the next couple months. If you guys had seen like the last deck that they had shown, there's significant amounts of dates that are missing in May, June, and of course July hasn't been announced. We can't say much about it because we're just waiting for all the other cards to get for all the other fights to get signed. Because one of the things that PBC likes to do is like just say, here's the card, right? They don't like filling it after the first one, except for, the Tank Ryan one. So we're just waiting on that. He's always in the gym, not necessarily boxing, but always just training.
I'm just training, man.
So as soon as they give us the fight date, we'll count back 8 to 12 weeks. He'll start sparring it 8 weeks before and ramp it up. But I mean, he's nowhere like 150 or even 140. He's not touching. That big.
So, y'all mean to tell me that PBC's not? I thought they was going out of business.
That's been the rumor since 2014.
Going out of business? What? Oh, this is breaking news. I thought PBC was going out of business, y'all.
No, trust me. I mean, like, how many times, even when, the Showtime acquisition was being done with Paramount, I was like, do you understand what an acquisition is? It's not going out of business. There's two different things, an acquisition and a merger. The parent company actually takes on the liability. So if you're saying that PBC is just going to disappear once the merger happens, you're ignoring the fact that the liability of the contract that stands between PBC and Showtime would have to be paid for, or they would have to fulfill their contract.
It's crazy, the narrative that some of these channels is running with out here. And salute to the PBC putting on big fights. And like you heard from Nonito and Rachael, they got a lot of big things coming. We already seen what is it like nine big fight cards in 10 weeks?
Yeah.
And that's just the beginning. I gotta ask you, Nonito, real quick, man. I want to get both of y'all thoughts on the Stephen Fulton and Inoue fight. Who y'all got?
Well, I know Inoue coming up in weight, and he got power. He's gonna probably carry a lot of it to that weight class, but he's looking at a guy who is the bigger guy, who is not afraid of him. Like, I'm not afraid of him. So in the first fight, I took it to him. Scooter's gonna be doing the same thing, And the thing about it is he is the type of person that kind of go along the style of a person that he can take advantage of, So I have to go with Fulton on this one because I think that he is the guy that just don't stay in there unless he has to. Whatever situation that he can take advantage to win the fight, he's gonna do it, But I think that with Wahid, because I know Wahid for a very long time, I think that he's gonna give him a really good strategy going into it, and that is not staying in front of him and just taking his feet and moving around him and not being able to sit on his punches.
I think it's going to be a really interesting fight because, like, if we talk about last fights, and what happened with Inoue in the Paul Butler fight. Paul Butler, from my perspective, just wanted to survive. He wasn't really throwing as many punches to, make a really, really big difference to win the fight, right? And it took him 11 rounds to find Paul Butler. With Fulton, that's going to be, it's going to be not running, but moving around the ring and not standing right in front, flat-footed in front of Inoue, which is what Inoue likes. And it's going to be shots back. He's not just going to like shell up and then run away, right? The only thing, of course, with Figueroa, which with Fulton and Figueroa, was I didn't like how he was caught against the ropes a couple of times. With
But that's Figueroa though. Figueroa's Figueroa.
Yes, Figueroa is huge and has a different pressure, right? So I believe that that's not going to stand true. Where he just leans against the ropes and allows Inoue to just lean on him, and that's not Inoue's game to lean on him.
No.
So that being said, I think it's going to be a really, really, really interesting fight, especially with Inoue moving up, and big ups to to Fulton to going over there. Like, it's not easy going across the pond and showing up into the hometown.
I mean, he wanted this fight for a very long time already. And now he said he'll go to Japan, and he did what he said he was gonna do.
Yeah, so we're actually pretty interested about that fight, and like he said, like him and Wahid has been friends for a very long time, and they talked a little bit. So really, really interested.
That's a hell of a fight. Jay Miller in the super chat, he says, "Salute, champ and Miss Champ. Do you think fighters should fight closer to their natural weight?" And my man, I'm gonna drop you the link in the super chat. Don't nobody touch this link but James. But yeah, go ahead and answer that question.
When it comes down to that, I think that it's healthier for the fighters. Back in the days, they would weigh in and fight the same day, and there's no advantage doing that, and they try to say, oh, it's safer if this and this and that, but they don't understand that it's actually good for them to be fighting the same day, because they know that they can't perform if they're cutting a lot of weight, right? So like say, if I'm cutting down, if I'm fighting out 112 and I got to fight that night, I'm not going to do nothing. Anybody could knock me out who's more fresh than I am, right? So I would go closer to my weight so that I can maximize my body's capability in fighting. Now, would it be better for them to? I personally think it's safer for the boxers, and it's better for the fighters.
Yeah, but I mean, like, a natural weight is kind of a weird thing to say, though, because like, where do you determine that? Like, just for you alone, you go up to at the height possibly 135. Once you start camp, you're at 129. Yeah. You do 12 rounds, you're at 122. Not even cutting. Just because you're sweating so much and you're eating and all this other stuff. So where is a natural weight?
Yeah, but that's after weight. That's after 12 rounds. I'm already sweating all of that stuff.
So which one?
So that means if I'm cutting down 10 pounds, like say if I'm at 35 usually, and then I'm fighting at 22 or just say 26, then that's good for me. But if I go down to 22, it'll be very difficult for me because I'll be so much weaker. Because I'm cutting down weight, you know what I'm saying? Closer to it.
We're not talking about cutting weight. We're talking about just natural. So naturally,
I would be around 126. I would be fighting 126. So
where would natural weight be? That's what I'm saying. Depending on your work rate, like when you're at 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 12 rounds.
Well, people are gonna try to drop their weight. So if I'm, for instance, if I'm at 35, usually after training and all that stuff, closer to it, I'll be more healthy at 126, right? But people are going to try to drop down to 22. But if they do drop down to 22, they'll be more weaker if there's not much distance in weighing in and then fighting right off.
My point is there is not really a natural weight of a boxer.
Yeah.
The only way that you can actually get close to it is same day weigh-in. For me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be same
But you
day
can't. I
weigh-in.
mean, how are you supposed to tell me what walk around? I normally like teeter totter between 118 and 110.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying is that if you are closer to the weigh-ins, right?
Yeah.
Like say that
Same day
afternoon,
weigh-in.
and then you fight at night.
Yeah.
You can't recover.
Nope.
So if I am to go down to 22 and I fight somebody at 22 and I'm usually at 136 or 35, I'm gonna be so much weaker going in there and I can't recover. Now this guy's obviously gonna be much more faster, much more better, and he can do a lot more of what I can't do because
Again,
I'm limited. Huh?
Yeah, same day weigh-in.
Yeah, it has to be in that way to be able to be fighting in your own or in your walking weight or your natural weight.
So would you like that if they went back to the same day weigh-ins?
I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that because I think it's fair for everybody else. But you know, you got to convince all of this commission to do it because they're quote unquote looking after the safety of fighters.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when there was same day weigh-ins back in the day, man.
Back in the days, man.
Yeah.
You know.
And with amateurs, it didn't like.
In the amateurs, that's what we did. You know, we.
Yeah, in the amateurs when I was you did we weighed in the morning of.
The morning before
the tournament.
Yep, and then you weigh in the same day the next day. You do the same thing the next day. You know, that's how it was with me. I fought 5 times in a row, and I weighed in 5 times.
Yep. James, man, what's going on, James? Man, I appreciate you for supporting the channel too, my
always, man. Always. Hello to everybody.
How you doing, brother?
I've spoken to Queen Donaire, not but just on out of the time here. Been watching King Donaire for a long time and everything. Just listening to the whole conversation and what everybody's talking about. When you talk about weight, drain, and all this, a lot of people don't realize when you weight drain and all, it has an effect on your kidneys. It has an effect on your organs. And like you were saying, Brother Donaire, how you go in, you feel weak or something like that. Well, what else is being torn down? Now, when I look at Floyd Mayweather, I don't care what nobody say. I give the man the most respect. I'm a fan, but I also looked at his work ethic. You ever notice, even though when he fought De La Hoya or someone bigger, what was 154 up to 154, right? It was always 154 when he fought De La Hoya. Do you ever recall?
54 when
he had moved up the weight, but when he weighed, but then when he got in the ring, he was back to where he was because he's always in shape.
Mm-hmm.
He always in shape. I mean, I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, and part of my lifestyle during that time, you had to be in shape. And don't get it twisted. You're not in shape, you kicked out. So I'm saying the same thing as far as the weight catching and all this other stuff. I think they should have a mindset, a regime, like, hey, at this stage, I should be here, but you shouldn't have to rush to drain your body because it'll kill you. Roy Jones, prime example, he built his muscle up, got out there and fought that heavyweight. He should have waited. He should have told Tarver to meet him at cruiserweight, but he didn't. He went all the way down to appease the crowd and looked bad. Oh, he won that fight. He looked bad. But when he fought him again, that was it. But all that muscle came off too. You losing muscle weight when you go up and come down. Yeah. As far as I'm gonna tell you, Gervonta and Ryan needs to move up after this because I'm gonna tell you that draining is not gonna cut it. They will not see a full career. You could take that to the bank.
Well, Tank is where he should be. He's a smaller guy. He's 5'5", 5'4", 5'5".
Right.
But Ryan he's a big dude to be fighting at 135.
He's a tall dude.
140, so he should be at 140 pounds.
He's a tall dude.
Yeah, but he's pretty solid too. He's pretty solid.
And after a while, Tank gonna have to decide how you're gonna do this, man, because all that muscle will drain your oxygen. It just can't last that long. But I'm glad he can box. Don't get me wrong, but the body changes the older we get. Look at me. I used to have a 12-pack. But no, I just thought I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. Based on what you got everybody saying. That's why I was also when I mentioned the super chat about De La Hoya, Floyd. I started looking at a whole lot of other things while I was listening. I said, see, all this stuff goes on in the background. that people don't see. They can look at this as a Floyd vendetta against Oscar De La Hoya, and here you got Tank and Ryan. That fight is sell out, make a killing. But it's like I don't know how they're bringing them along. They're so caught up in the money so much, man. These guys aren't ready to fight a lot of times. It's killing them.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, tell me and I'll shut my mouth up.
Well, let me get to this cash out real quick. My man Odi Ibarra, man, always coming through, man, showing love and supporting the cash out. And Nonito and Rachael, man, y'all drop y'all link in the chat. So for everybody, go subscribe to Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachael. Great content. Great content. They go
Awesome
live
content.
all the time. Go subscribe to them. Great content.
Did you read the chat, Kay?
Huh?
Did you read the person's chat? I didn't know if you finished reading it. Okay.
My man Kawhi Elliott says, Donaire, he says, one of my favorite fighters, so salute to you and misses.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I mean, I normally see like a lot of boxers. What 12 is it? 8 to 12 week boxing camp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you start earlier, or is it against some type of sanction to do so?
Oh no.
No, you can start anytime you want to. You know, you can make it as long as possible. Some people back in the days, a Hagler would do it 3 to 4 months before that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah,
it
Holyfield
really-
too. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, you spoke of Holyfield, Brother K. Holyfield is just a unique individual. But he said when he knew he was going to fight Mike Tyson, he took an extra month to train for him.
Yeah, Holyfield was
I
my
think it's
favorite.
more so the fact that, like, you know, you look at a 12-week, an 8 or 12, 8. I think 8's pretty good. 12 if you need to lose weight. Like, I don't like fat camp plus strategic camp. But it's really about like how the fighter is. Like, you don't want them to burn out. So if you're doing like a 16 or a 20-week camp, like, dude, by the time he gets in that ring, he's just done. He just wants the fight to be done.
The thing about being overtrained is not so much the physical, it's more the mental thing. You know, because you're so tired of it, you just don't have, you know, just like, I just want to get it over with, this and this. You don't want to be doing that. You know, you want to be at the place where, like, man, I want to knock this dude out. I want to tear him apart. You know, not just like, man, you know, I just want to get this over with. I just want, you know, you don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why for me, when I do train people, it's always the mindset. How we create the mindset is, you know, again, it's going to be how strong your body is how strong your mind is going to be going in the ring.
And when you see a lot of the longer camps, like, you see them like just
mental drain.
They're like, you're telling them, you know, that they could do it, and they're just like kind of glass look at you like, man, I hear you, but it's not registering. Like, I can't do it. And so at those points in camp, we're always like, dude, just take the weekend off. Like, come back Monday fresh. Don't think about boxing. But a lot of people don't do that though.
But you know what?
They need to push more and burn themselves out even more so.
You just said something, Miss Donaire. I thought there was a lot of trainers that train their people, like you said, give them a time off, a day off, break off, something like that, so the body can recoup. Yeah. Correct?
Yeah.
Especially fighters when they get a little older, that's what they, you know, they don't go as hard as they did when they were young.
Right. Well, for me, as a fighter, and even now when I'm training fighters, you know, the young guys or the older guys, I always give them a break. I always give them I told them to listen to their body, right? So for instance, they go on a crazy sparring day, and then they don't feel like they can go the next day or Wednesday or the next, you know, couple days. I let them do that. I want them to go in the ring sparring, eager to beat some dude up. I want them to be excited to go in the ring, you know. And again, the mindset is so much more. If you harness the mindset rather than the physical, you're in a level of confidence rather than in the level of just nonchalant about it, like getting it over with, you know. So to me, in my training and for everybody that I train, I always make them have they gotta rest as much as they train.
That's good.
Yeah, man. The body recovery, that's everything. Look at LeBron James. You know, so and look at Nonito. That's why y'all able to stay
Yeah.
in the game for so long
Yeah.
because you've learned things over the years and you implement it, you know, now, and you know, gives you longevity. Now I'm getting ready to wrap it up because I know everybody want to go to Showtime and go watch this weigh-in. Not the weigh-in, the press conference, the second press conference that's going to start pretty soon. But I got a question for everybody on the panel before I wrap it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with you, James.
I'm gonna test it. Yes, sir.
One,
Ready.
one fight in 2023. One fight, if you can get one fight, what fight you want to see? As a
Brother,
fan?
you Crawford and Spence.
Okay,
And I know you gave me that one shot. I know don't beat me down, okay? But I'm telling you, when Crawford got that third strap, he said, I'm going for the next one. Honest to God, I thought the next week they was going to make
Spence.
That's what I mean. I'm sorry. I thought Spence, once he said, I'm going for my strap, I want the W, he called it out, clear as day, live TV, and where we at? So I'm sorry I went too far. I get pumped.
No, you good. You good. Great breakdown. Rachel, same for you, and then Nonito.
Mine's the same. I think we just need to get that fight over.
I think that's the
with.
fight.
Yeah.
That's the fight that everybody need. That has to happen.
Yeah,
That
I think
happen.
as fans,
before they get old.
Yeah,
like really old.
Yeah.
I think as fans, like I think through all the twists and turns of this freaking negotiation since last year, I think we honestly deserve it at this point.
I know.
We have been very invested in this fight,
Right.
so I'm not letting it go.
Yeah.
And one more before we leave.
What's yours?
Plant or Benavidez?
Oh,
Benavidez.
Benavidez. I'm going with Plant.
Really?
Yes, I am. Nothing. I love my man. Don't get me wrong, but I see a boxing scenario going on here, per se, and I can see what Plant is doing. He's getting inside of Benavidez's head because Benavidez is ready to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a feeling Plant is going to use that against him. I really do. Because that anger energy takes away energy. Really.
Who you got, Nonito?
Well, for me, when Canelo and Plant was announced, I thought Plant was going to be able to outbox him and stuff because I was going for Plant.
Yeah,
but he didn't show the discipline and the consistency.
Right.
And we've seen him many times being able to be a good boxer,
right,
but not consistent to box throughout the whole fight. Yeah. And that's the only reason why I picked Benavidez to win this fight, because he's going to overwhelm him, he's going to mentally drain him, and he, just like Canelo did. And I think Benavidez is going to go out there unless he makes those big shots like he did with Darrell, because I've seen their workout. They're actually pushing through the punches, meaning that they are working on power, not boxing. And if they are working on power, he better learn how to
take the punches.
Take a punch and let the dog in him, out.
You're talking about Plant, right? Are you talking about Plant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're watching.
That's right.
Because looking at his workout, and I'm like, he's not in his thing, but on the on social media, how they was trying to push through the punch, even though he's slow, but they're trying to push through the punch. That's not Plant's style.
That's
true. So for me, if he goes into to go to war, that's not his fight.
That's right.
Yeah.
I agree.
I got so my fight that I want to see is definitely Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. But it's kind of like, if we don't get it, I'm kind of like, it is what it is at this point in time. I'm kind of sick of the whole thing. But I definitely, if they announce that fight's happening, I'm probably one of the happiest boxing fans, on the earth. If they do put it together, I want to see that fight. But and as far as Benavidez and Plant, that's a hard one, man. I had a hell of an interview with Benavidez. I rock with Benavidez, but I rock with Plant too. Right. Those are two of my favorite fighters. You know what I'm saying? Two of my favorite fighters. And I always said if they fought, I was just gonna sit back and just be a fan. I'm not gonna root for either one. Right. I do after, just like you, Nonito, just like you said, I thought that Caleb Plant was gonna be able to outbox Canelo Alvarez, but he showed in that fight a lot of immaturity. I don't think he was brought up right. I don't think he was brought up like the fighters that they put him in the ring before he fought Canelo. I don't think that they, brought him up right.
Didn't it appear though that he was outboxing him though? Then I got the impression.
Nah, I don't like a little. I don't really. I thought that Canelo was winning that fight clearly. Canelo was hitting him with the harder shots, and Caleb Plant showed that a lot of those body punches was affecting him, and he wasn't. He just didn't look like he did in a lot of other fights when he stepped up to the plate. But now I think that Caleb Plant is gonna use that as experience. I think he knows a lot more now because he's been in a fight of that magnitude. I think it's going to help him a lot in this Benavidez fight. I listen to, how they're training, and I'm listening to Breadman say, look, he's stronger than he's ever been before. Caleb Plant was like, I'm stronger than I've ever been before. I've never been in this type of shape that I'm in right now in my whole career. So I'm looking at that, and, he got a new coach. I wasn't really familiar with the last coach that he had, that he got rid of. I never had seen him train anybody, but I'm familiar with Breadman. Breadman's a hell of a coach. Yeah. And, the things that they implemented, they saying that, he's a lot stronger. So they're implementing a lot of more strength and conditioning and things like that. Plus, they're still working with Larry Wade, and he feel like he looked like he was in great shape in that workout, But I always said, and I'm gonna stick to what I said. Caleb Plant is gonna have to be in 15-round type shape to beat Benavidez.
Right, I agree.
Benavidez, we know that he don't stop coming. He's not gonna stop, and he gonna have to be in 15-round shape. I do still edge Benavidez, but I think it's gonna be a lot closer fight maybe than a lot of people think. I wouldn't be surprised if Benavidez stopped him late, but if Caleb Plant is in 15-round shape, he won't get stopped late. What type of shape is he in?
How about this? How about the boxing grabs like strategy? Pop up, grab, move around, turn them. Keep them off balance.
Hopkins style.
Yeah, keep them off balance.
I mean, we gonna see.
I don't think he has the understanding of that type of old school, because I know he's a great boxer. I think one thing that will allow him to really take control is the feint. If he uses feint to the body, feint to the head, throw the jab, go around them. The thing is, you got to be disciplined to do that.
Right, I understand. Right,
and I think if he can do that, he's gonna win the fight. But if they're forcing him because he says he's getting strong, and he has confidence in knocking somebody out like he did with Darrell, and maybe he's gonna go in here more powerful and all of that stuff. I mean, I think that's gonna be a detriment to him, because he's fighting a guy. He's fighting a guy who does that.
That's true.
Yeah, man. And but overall, 2023, as far as we see it now, it's a great year for boxing already, and it's only gonna get better. And this might be the best year that we've had in boxing.
I believe it.
Probably maybe the last, as far as I can remember, the last 10 years. I remember 2017 was a big year, but 2023 already looking better than 2017 was. So, I'm looking forward to boxing. I appreciate y'all for coming on.
Did Coach pass away? Did Coach pass away?
Yeah, Coach passed away, man.
Oh my gosh, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow.
Yeah, man. But once again, Nonito and Rachael, let everybody know what you guys got going on your channel, because everybody needs to subscribe to Beyond the Ring with Rachael and Nonito. Like I said, hell of a channel, man, and keep doing what y'all doing. I love the content over there.
Thanks. So I mean, I think the next one will be our breakdown of sex and boxing's tonight.
Yeah, sex and boxing, because we talk about how about the fighter and all of that stuff. So tonight we'll be having that, talking about our first episode was, is sex a detriment to boxing, or is ejaculation gonna affect the body? Is it the same as sex? We talked about that in one of the things. So we're gonna be talking about sex and boxing tonight, and how about men, are they the ruler in bed, or are fighters different? You know what I'm saying? As being,
let me get that link real quick.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be tuning in. What time is the show? You guys are Pacific time, right?
Yeah.
So 3 hours Eastern.
You guys 7.
Yeah, we go at 7 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
So we like to do it. We basically do it on Thursday nights because we're trying to get everyone in the mood for the weekend. We're trying to help you guys out, talk about sex. And they're like, oh, okay, the weekend's coming up.
Yeah.
But the other days we're talking about boxing, we break down, we'll probably break down the Harrison, Tim Tszyu on Saturday.
Right.
On Friday.
On Friday.
And then recaps.
And then on Monday, she talks about the business of boxing and how to lead fighters to about the contracts and all that stuff. So she's a pro when it comes down to it. I'll just be in the background, just.
Well, that's good.
They want y'all to drop the link before we get out of here.
For sure.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
That way, everybody can click on the link. 7 p.m. Pacific time, so that's 8 p.m. Mountain time. That's 9 p.m. Central time, and that's 10 p.m. On the East Coast.
We'll get it.
Good night.
I'm gonna become partners with Keon and the Donaire family. The 7th was my birthday. I'm probably older.
Oh, you know what? You know what? What I got to do? Oh, let me wrench y'all up.
Am I not wrenched? I thought I was.
You are. I don't think on this channel. You're wrenched on under your other profile.
When I say that's it. We use this one when we're together. But if it's just me talking shit, then it's just Rachael Donaire.
Yeah, she loves to talk shit. So,
I want to make sure it's coming from my mouth, not his. But everything boxing, we're gonna head out. Today's our Thursday. It's the only day of the week that we don't we get lunch before we have to pick up the kids and discuss the weekend stuff. But I'm so glad you got to meet him.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
I think I was on your panel once. When you had a panel, I went over there, and I was on your panel.
On your channel.
I said, y'all welcome anytime. Like I said, I love y'all show. Continue to keep growing. Once people know that you got a show, they're gonna love it. And I did pin it in the chat. So everybody that's in the building, before we leave out, make sure that you hit the link in the chat and subscribe to Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachael. And today we'll be on tonight. And thank y'all.
Okay, bud. Thank you. God bless all of you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Everybody in the building, like I said, hit that link. Go ahead and subscribe to Nonito and Rachael. I'll give y'all a chance to do it before I shut it down. And then I'm going to go do what the rest of y'all going to go do. Watch this weigh-in. I mean, I keep calling it a weigh-in. This press conference. I'm going to watch this press conference. And, and we will be back tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. So make sure that y'all hit that link that's pinned up there in the chat and go subscribe to Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachael. Yeah. Uppercuts Boxing Nation, I see you in the building. Yes, sir. They say they sub. Yep. And Sheena, salute to the Queen Sheena, Rick Timms. I see y'all. They came through and they gave a little straightening. So a lot of y'all just, closed-minded. You're going to think what you want to think anyway. A lot of y'all think y'all know more than a professional boxer that's been champion in multiple different weight classes, and that's a legend in the game. When he's telling y'all, about weight cutting and rehydration, y'all think y'all know more than him. You can't. Some of y'all, we can't tell y'all nothing. For real, y'all know too much when it comes to y'all favorite fighter. But the press conference is gonna be on right now on Showtime. Just go to Showtime Sports on YouTube. And like I said, we out of here. I appreciate y'all. I will be back tomorrow. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.